It's hard to say tragedy because, like, I think about my loved ones that were murdered in gang violence, and it becomes a soft subject, And so, because obviously this is how you started your nonprofit. So
I really talk to people, adults, teenagers, who follow that gut instinct.
Yes.
We have it for the rest of our lives.
Hi everyone, this is Raina Carrillo with Purpose and Passion, and today I'm really excited because I'm all about empowering people, women empowerment, educating, and teaching awareness. And so I have this lovely lady that is the founder and CEO of Street Racing Kills, a reckless driving prevention organization. So through social media, my friend said, hey, you need to check this lady out because she's about what you're about in the community, about the street racing, why they shouldn't be doing it on normal streets. It's not safe for them or others. And so we have founder CEO Lili Trujillo Puckett.
Yes.
All right. Yay. I'm happy to have you here on Purpose and Passion, because we know that you have a purpose and passion for your nonprofit. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So I want you to take our viewers down back memory lane and so where were you born and raised? Where were your parents from?
Mexico City.
All right.
Yes, I was actually born in Ensenada, but then I was raised in Mexico City since I was 4 years old. But my whole life I came back and forth.
Yes.
So my parents got divorced. That's why I ended up in Mexico City. And so we come and visit my dad, go to school, go back to Mexico.
Yes.
Then my mom was like struggling, go back with your dad, send me back. So I basically was raised between, United States and Mexico.
Which is a beautiful thing,
Yes. Yeah.
For me, I wasn't that lucky. I was scared to go to Zacatecas. But when I finally did as an adult, I so regret not going as a youth. Man.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful over there,
Yeah.
and you feel more gratitude when you come back.
Yes.
Gratitude.
Yeah. And I think that happened to me because I will never forget how the frosted flakes tasted different here.
Yes.
The milk tasted different here. And I had my shows that I would watch when I was, young. And over here, it's all about Welcome Back, Kotter, and all those times, like Never and Shirley and the Fonz. And I had this connection. And I never thought that I was going to leave my country and then come back and live here and just stay here.
Yeah.
But I always felt like this was home. Every time I go back to Mexico, it was like, it was supposed to be the other way around.
Yes, yes.
And then one day my mom was like, okay, go see your dad after high school. And I never came back.
So when you were in Mexico as a child, what was your dream job at that time?
I wanted to be an interpreter. I love languages.
Nice.
Yes, and I am an interpreter.
Okay.
I am. But right now I'm full-time with my organization, but I've been doing that. And what happened was that I knew that right after high school I was going to go study more languages. I would speak English, and then I ended up coming to visit my dad. I ended up getting married to an Italian man who took me all over the world. We just traveled everywhere. We got married. So I learned Italian because I lived in Rome.
Yes.
And then I ended up 17 years later, I got divorced here in Los Angeles and discovered freedom because I was so young, I was 20, and here I am at, 38 years old being divorced. And I was like, what am I going to do? I never worked.
Yes.
And I said, I wanted to be an interpreter. I speak 3 languages. So I actually went to UCLA, graduated as a medical interpreter. And I've been doing that ever since.
Wow.
That's what my dream, what I wanted to do since I was young. Yeah.
See, you did that. Wow, that's amazing. Well, one thing about me is, obviously you said, you went to Italy and lived over there and traveled the world. Like, I've never got a chance to travel because I have like 5 kids. But like, how does it feel to, to go to another country? Like, how did it feel? Was it like, the traveling and learning the new language?
So I was 22 when I went there. And yes, it was, everybody said, because you speak Spanish, it's going to be easier. It was actually worse because they're too similar, but they're very different. So I literally went to school when I was there to learn Italian.
Yes.
And it's the truth. It's Europe. It's another world. It's another traditions, the way people are. And I loved it. But I feel like I was too young, my 20s. So I would love to go back as an adult. But I do remember loving the food and everything. I mean, went to France, went everywhere. I mean, I really, but we didn't have kids yet. We had kids when we came here.
Back to California.
We came back to Florida and then California.
So how many kids did you have?
Two.
Okay.
My son and of course my daughter that was killed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to talk about the story of your daughter. Explain to the viewers how did that happen? Your daughter, was she in high school?
Yeah, she was a junior in Torrance High.
Mm-hmm. Torrance High. And so when you got the call, how did that happen, or how did it feel? Bring us back to that moment of the tragedy, and it's hard to say tragedy because I think about my loved ones that were murdered in gang violence, and it becomes a soft subject, and so because obviously this is how you started your nonprofit. So how did that happen, and how did that go for you, and the struggle as a mother losing their child?
Yeah, well, at the time I thought I had it going on. I was a single mom. I had been divorced for quite some time.
Yes.
Valentina was 5 when I got divorced. So this year I have a 16-year-old.
Yes.
Living in a 2-bedroom apartment. That's all I could afford, being a medical entrepreneur in Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. So my life was like, take him to school, right? Go an hour and a half to Beverly Hills, come back with traffic, make sure they have something to eat, call them up. Both of them like different things, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a carnivore, she's a pasta girl. So, and she's like, 2 tacos, some chicken, the crack, please. And then he was like, a hamburger with bacon and everything on it. I was like, can we just eat healthy, please?
Yes.
But that was my life. And single and happy and just had friends. And I was able to support myself. I had a townhouse. So going to good schools, Torrance High, and I was like, never in my life that I ever thought I was going to be, struck by such tragedy or an outliving my daughter. And so she was very, very happy, when you go to high school, you get make your friends, and that's like your core, your clique. Mm-hmm. You can be mean girls, whatever you want to be.
So, or cheerleaders.
And she's like, I want to be in the fashion club. So she was in the fashion club. She was actually going to go to New York and getting all ready for her fashion club. I called my brother. He was always in Mexico City. He would send me money for the tickets, send me money for this. She's going to go. And getting her we had so many plans, so many things. And, just enjoying the heck out of her. I remember when one day she told me, I need a dress for my quinceañera. I'm going to, and I'm like, okay. Oh, so here beautiful. We go buy her quinceañera dress, right? A dress for the quinceañera. And of course, I'm a single mom, right? You know what I mean? I don't make that much money. Yes. And of course, she picks the most expensive one. I buy it for her. Also. And then I come to pick him up for the quinceañera, right? She's wearing one of my dresses, not the dress that I bought her. Her girlfriend's wearing another one of my dresses. But Valentina just rocked that dress even better than me. So I was like, I was laughing, my shoes. So she was really, her personality was really cute, So that was one day, and she's like, can I have a sleepover? And I go, sure. And she had sleepovers all the time. Either they came to my house or they went over. And most of the time, these girls were always at my house.
Yes.
I remember one summer, I just have to share it because it was so funny.
No, that's beautiful. I love this. I love this. Because you're bringing us, through your journey. Yes.
So I remember I had 2 girls, and all of them were divorced parents, just like me, right? Yeah. So they're in my house, just living there, and with me in my bedroom, right? So I had a king bed. Oh my God, that room was such a mess. I'd never forget. And I come one day and there's a big sheet covering the whole, window. And why do you guys have this room? It's a woman cave, Mom. And I'm like, okay, it's a woman cave. And I would wake up with nacho cheese on my butt because they would eat on the bed, go under the bed. And there was, what was it called? Either Pollo Loco or Taco Bell underneath the bed. Then one was wearing my underwear. And it was just so crazy. They were 3 teenagers. They
were too comfortable.
They were 3 teenagers. And they were like, we went to Hermosa, pick us up there. And then by the time I pick them up, we're hungry, feed us. And one went salads. The other one everything. One ate a lot. One went a burrito. I mean, it's just feed all of us. But it was just fun.
Yeah.
3 teenagers,
Of course.
They're best friends. And they couldn't live without each other. So that particular night, she was like, Mom, pick me up. We're going to go to the sleepover. So when I get there, they're like, can you please take us to Ezra's house first? Ezra was another friend just new to the clique, And she was like, I want to go to this party. And I don't really want to go. My cousin wants me to go, and I don't want to be alone. Now, you guys are going to go spend the night in Wilmington. So why not, go to the parties in Wilmington.
Yes.
So she's like, okay. So I pick him up and I take her to Ezra's house. Both girls, I took him there, and I see Valentina knocking. She had a unicorn backpack where it was little, but she could fit anything in that thing.
That unicorn
backpack. Anything in the unicorn. I don't know how she put all her clothes and everything. So she's knocking at the door, and I saw her standing there, and I got teary eyed. I felt so much. It was like a divine feeling all over my body. Yes. And I was like, gosh, I love her life. She's so cute, so pretty, just And I left, and I never knew that was the last time I was ever going to see her alive. And that's one of the things that I really talk to people, adults, teenagers, and we go follow that gut instinct.
Yes.
We have it for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
And I always tell them, maybe something tells you don't get in that car, something tells you shouldn't go there, or it's just not happening. I would just don't push it.
Or that moment that you said you start crying and you were just staring at her.
Yes.
And that was like, even though you didn't understand, but spiritually, it was like that moment of that last time seeing your daughter.
Last time I ever saw her alive, knocking at the door. And I went home, and they were there, and then the girl was like, called a friend. And he was a week shy of 18, and he took him to the party.
Yes.
And they get to the party, and there's older people there. Some friends they knew, and some they didn't. And there was a lot of drugs and alcohol. So the girls come in, and they're like old, 16-year-olds, all cute, and then they gave them a drink. And her girlfriend was diabetic, so she got really sick like within minutes. So Valentina was taking care of her because she started throwing up. And it was a strawberry. And they were like, you know what, let's just go. I mean, this is just getting too much, you know what I mean? So they were all gonna, so the boy that took him there, it's taking them, it's gonna take him all home. So it was Wilmington, so take these two girls for the sleepover and take the other one back that was really sick. But both they were friends. I'm sleeping in my bed. I have no idea. She will always call me, or text me, or I will call her. So I'm sure somehow I fell asleep. And I get this phone call, like, hurry up and get here. And there's this teenager screaming and yelling and saying, effing this. But he's saying the driver.
Yes.
And I don't know what's going on. He's going, please just get here. Valentina was in a crash. And I'm like, so I knew something was bad.
Yes.
And I thought she was at the sleepover. I thought that she was going to get picked up by the other girl's mom. That's what I thought was going to happen. So I get my son. We ran out of the house. We get there. There's only yellow tape around, Avalon and Anaheim. I still don't know what's going on. We go to Harvard, UCLA. I go into the emergency room, and see, how there's little rooms there, see which one she's at. And I'm yelling. And her girlfriend is with her mom crying. And I'm like, where's Valentina? And she's like, Valentina died.
Oh,
and I just collapsed to the ground.
Oh.
I don't remember a lot. I just, my son picked me up, and then he took me, because I didn't faint. It literally was the shock.
Yes.
I was like literally convulsioning on the...
Because you're expecting to see her in a bed at least.
And I also didn't want to admit to it. I was like, no. And he's like, Mom, let's go. The police wants to talk to us at the house. So I'm like, okay. Because at the beginning, took me to hospitals. So I said she's at another hospital. Because I have no idea of nothing, So go to my house, and the police is there, a woman police, and she's actually carrying Valentina's purse. And we go in, and that's when they tell me. Literally, the saying, I fell off my chair. Well, I fell off my chair.
Yes.
And someone caught me. The last thing I remember is my son looking at the police officer's phone, just nodding his head. So here's my 22-year-old son having to identify his dead sister at the scene. And he took that for me. He took that for me because I was in no condition. So time passed. I don't remember who dressed me for the funeral. I do remember that the news came, the Daily Breeze, and I talked to them. I was talking like, it was just so surreal.
Yeah.
I just remember that I said, this is a movie. Like this, this didn't happen to her. I mean, forget about me. It's like, this didn't happen to her. This is not real. You can't just, it's one day you're here and one you're not. It's like, I'm in this room. Her clothes are still there. She slept next to me. And it's like,
it was a lot.
It was a lot.
Oh, yeah. So you didn't get the opportunity to see her at the hospital?
No. when you die at the scene, they take you to the morgue.
Oh,
and they strip you of all your clothes. They put you in a refrigerator. You become a number, and they call you the body. We took the body, and you no longer have a name. And that's something that I learned later. And I learned way too much about what happens in crashes. I got literally thrown in there. And I remember I went to work finally, and I finally was able to read the report.
Yes.
And I was underneath the parking lot of the Beverly Center, and I'm like reading the report, and I'm crying, and I'm looking. I was like, well, what did I do wrong as a mom? Was I too lenient? Was I too strict? Why did I let her go to sleepovers? Why did I let her go to parties? Yeah. Was she a bad kid because she didn't tell me about the party? And I said, so what happened was that he's taking them home. Mm-hmm. He gets out of the car to help the girl throw up again, puts her back with her seatbelt on. The two girls in the back are tired, are sleeping.
Yes.
And they don't have their seatbelts on. Mm-hmm. Then he sees a co-worker driving by, and they get side by side, and they challenge each other to a race. So when he pulled the window down, her girlfriend woke up. Yeah. And she heard the whole thing. Takes off going over 80 miles an hour in Avalon, which was not, it was more like a business residential area. He's now on the big side over here, and she feels the speed. And she puts her seatbelt on, and she's like, Val, hey, put your seatbelt on. And Valentina's like, for what? Like, being a teenager, like, why are you bugging me? I'm sleeping. We're going home, like. Yes. And he crashes against an SUV. There was a yellow light turning red. It turned red. He couldn't stop. He just floored that. He kept going. Crashed against an SUV, then went right through a fence. So when her best friend woke up, Valentina was hanging from the window. The seat in front of her from the crash went right under the dashboard. So the girl that was really sick was on, literally half of her body was under the dashboard. Her head was like an inch away from the windshield. Like, she's lucky she survived. Yes. So, like I said, there was nothing they could do. She broke her neck. Her brain was hit. Her head hit so many times everywhere that she, stopped her heart. So they couldn't bring her back. Yes. And I said to myself, well, this was not because I was a bad mom. This was not because she was a bad teenager.
The driver decided to do something reckless.
Exactly.
And not thinking about the people with him. Because I always tell people, like, a person's mind is not fully developed until they're after 25.
I agree.
And so if he was under 25, he's thinking as a kid, right? We're going to speed. I'm going to win this race because my pride.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what it turned out to be in that situation. And I wonder if he's an alcoholic on drugs, because like, what is he doing now?
No idea. But let me tell you something. Like, I know he didn't wake up that morning and said, "Oh, today I'm going to kill a friend."
No, of course
right?
not. No. Yeah.
So, but I knew that speed is what killed her. Yes. Over 80 miles an hour.
And not having
the challenge of a race, not having her seatbelt on, yes. Right? All of that stuff. And I said, well, if he didn't race, I would have picked her up the next day. Yes. Even without her not her seatbelt on, right? Which was
very
bad,
true. Yes, very true.
But
that's
maybe
valid.
We don't know if she would have survived or not. But if he didn't race, so that's why I said, well, street race killed her, speed killed her. But we forward 10 years. It's going to be almost 10 years. Last year, I remarried, and my husband, and we're at the YMCA because we're Kiwanians. We belong to the Torrance Kiwanis. Yes. And we're ringing the bell outside. One of those annoying people that ask people for donations. We're there with a little hat on. And I left because the scholarship was coming up. And I had to leave early. And this car just pulls in front of him. Gets up, this big tall guy gets out of the car and goes, "Hey, what's that Lily that just left?" And he's like, "What? What's that Lily that just left?" He goes, "I'm her husband. How can I help you?" Yes. The guy takes a deep breath. This is a 29-year-old man, probably 28, 29. And tells him on the van to kill her daughter almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
And tells him, "I just want you to please tell Lily that there's not a day that I don't think of Val.
Yes.
There's not a day that I don't wish it was me who died.
Yes.
And I have 2 daughters now. and I don't know what my life would be without them. And when you kill someone, it weighs on you forever.
Yes.
He goes, so just please tell her that. And he left. So my husband's calling me like, and I'm busy, so I'm not picking him up because I'm calling the videographer. I'm getting this together. Finally, he calls me. He tells me. So I get anxiety everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the past coming back.
Yeah, and he's just like, I don't know nothing about you, and he, you know, and I never wanna. It's too hard for me, and it took me about a month or two to think to myself, you know, thank you for letting me know. I'm very, very. It touched my heart, and I appreciate that you think about her every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Ooh, So within that experience, you started your nonprofit in honor of your daughter, Valentina, right?
Yes.
That's a beautiful name.
Yeah.
Beautiful name.
I wanted to. I didn't do it on purpose. She did it all. She's the boss. And she was bossing when she was a teenager.
Yeah, no, I
Still
can.
bossing me around.
I feel her energy. You know, just as you're sharing her story, I feel her energy, and it's a beautiful energy because you know, she has work on the other side.
Oh yeah.
And her work on the other side is similar to your work on this earth.
Yeah. I totally agree. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to build a nonprofit. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It was within, I remember I spoke at the candlelight vigil.
Yeah.
I just got up and spoke. And 5 months later, one of her girlfriends was a president of a club at her high school, South High. And she's like, Lily, can you come and speak at my club? It's Red Ribbon Week, so we're going to talk about alcohol and drugs.
Yes.
I go, nobody's going to talk about crashes. And about, you know, so I said, okay. I got there. That would have been her senior year, and I spoke to over 500 kids.
Yes.
And I didn't cry. And I felt like I had her with me, and I found my way of having her with me forever.
Yes.
And then it just kept growing from one other school. Then I had a logo. Then I had the GoDaddy thing, and then I just thought what I was going to name it. That's I'm name it as it is.
Yes.
You know,
straightforward too.
Straightforward.
Yeah,
but nobody wanted me at the beginning at the school, so it was really hard to get in.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "Who's this crazy lady from Street Racing Kills?"
Yeah.
It's an ugly name. And now it's like, please come and speak at a school.
Yeah, because what's happening now, like it's ridiculous. Like there's the girls, 2 females, you know, they were around Compton, and obviously they were being reckless. The girl was driving, the other girl had a gun, and she's got her body hanging from the window, right? So she's holding on with the gun, and she flies out. Boom, she's done. Oh. And then the girl that's doing Ghost Ride the Whip. Lose control and she dies. So we talk about, for me, I don't like it because I think it's reckless, and I know it's reckless because even though they block the whole streets, they're selfish for blocking the whole streets because people want to get home, people want to get to work, people have places to go. So they block the streets off. Then they start spinning the cars. People have been ran over, hit, killed by these cars drifting. Then you have people shooting in the air, doing illegal fireworks, and just doing stuff that's just ridiculous. Like you have no purpose in life, and that's why you're acting this way, because there's no purpose. You don't have a purpose, and so you're out here being reckless. So I think about like my husband's into Harley Davidson bikes. And so they go to the Speedway in Irwindale. Yeah. And people race their Harleys there in a safe place, right? And so I just feel like California laws needs to hold these youth and people responsible for their actions, as in, you know, if they mess up, they need to do community service. Whether it's at the morgue or helping people that have been hit by a car at a hospital, points on their DMV record to where if your insurance is so sky high, you can't even afford to pay the insurance. So therefore you can't even drive no.
Believing Before Seeing, a new book by Candace Barr, teaching you how to believe into existence. Available now for pre-order.
No more. You know, it's just so many things, because a lot of people are asking, like, how do we present a legislation to our governor of California on this action? Right. Because right now law enforcement can't do nothing. they do their sirens and people disperse.
The street racing task forces are the ones that were created since 2015. I met the founder of the street racing task force, and it was really hard for him to convince him. Now there's street racing CHP. Everybody has street racing task force. They're everywhere, and they're specific to tackle the problem. They know how to find if the car has many hands. They know what to look for. They know how to deal with it. It's hard. And my community relations director has been on the ride along with them. My son didn't let me go. I was about to go, but I do know a lot of them with the LAPD and with the CHP, and they've been doing this for a long time. What happens is that you go to 2014, 2015, and Valentina was in 2013, but December 7th. So basically, I started doing everything in 2014. And I went to legislators and I knocked at the doors, and they would tell me, they wouldn't pay attention to me. And I told them, this is going to get worse. We need to address it. Please, let's do some bills. However, when things started getting back to the pandemic is when legislators started actually approaching me, and I was able to do more. So there is like at least 4 bills. Ryan's Law passed. So Ryan's Law, it's AB 1472, which will, let's say you get caught street racing, doing a takeover, anything like that, speeding, doing your donuts, even spectating, and you do it again. But the second time you kill someone. So it's been raised from manslaughter to felony manslaughter. Which means the judges and the district attorneys can give you more time, can handle if you have priors now. So that was a really good bill that passed last year.
Thank you for educating us. Serious. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Because I'm really now. I'm like, okay, like
there's a little something, not a lot. There should be. How we started earlier, we would have been in better situation. Then there's AB3 passed, so that they'll take your license away, take the points away, confiscate your car. They still confiscate the cars. Nobody was, so it passed. We were so happy. That was the year before Ryan's Law. But guess what? The DMV said, oh, we're not ready for it until 2025. So they took it away from us, kind of gave it to us and took it away from us. So now we're waiting for 2025. Then we have another bill that's in the motion, and that bill is asking for it to be in 2024, not 2025, but taking the cars completely, confiscating. They're not going to.
Yes, you can't get it back.
You're not going to get your car after 30 days, like normally happens. It will take them completely. And then we just passed. In collaboration with other organizations, we passed the speed camera bill. And that's going to start, I think, in January, implementing speed cameras. So let's say you're going
90.
35 on a 25, you're going to get a little ticket just mailed to your house. But if you're going 100, it's going to be a bigger ticket. So it's going to be in certain areas of Los Angeles, San Jose, Glendale, I believe, and certain parts where they're popular for speeding, school zones, or street racing, or doing even the takeovers. So that's a good one, and that passed. However, my thing from the beginning has been education. Because I knew he was young. I know they were young kids. So I've been creating a lot of problems. So I've been doing a lot of education and different things that I without meaning to, like, I didn't say, oh, I'm going to be a program creator. I know that they pay these program creators so much more. You know that? How much do you have to pay to hire someone to do the programs? Like, who knows? They study for that. I just did it from my heart. So I have all the Fast and Fatal for the kids, reenactments, everything that we've done. But I wanted to do, when you were talking about consequences and diversion, I have you. This is my diversion program.
Please share with us.
So this is my diversion program, and this I did through the pandemic when the takeovers went crazy. And my diversion program is the courts referred to us. Inglewood just started referring. I'm very happy. The courts referred to us, the kids, where we get these people that are actually street racing at the takeovers. Maybe it's a hit and run. District attorneys refer, even the public defenders refer, to this program. And we see them over Zoom, and we have right now we're having 20 every Monday. And when we talk to them, though, we are not about to judge.
I know what you mean.
We are not about we're to educate and to mentor. We tell them. So because they begin there, you're like, gotta take this class,
Yeah, they're gonna talk crap.
They're like,
we already know we did wrong because we were doing wrong, but we don't want to hear it again.
And we don't want to take it, and we don't want to pay for it. And I go, well, when they complain about paying, I'm like, well, how much were the tires that you put in your car?
Yes, burning them out like that. Yes.
How much? I have people even from Glendale, when I know they have money, and they're complaining, and because they were speeding or racing, and I'm like, how much? Can I ask you what kind of car you're driving? Oh, I have a BMW, and I'm like, oh, what year are you new? And I go, and you don't want to pay, so I laugh at it, but they start laughing too. When we're in the class, I have speakers from everywhere.
Yes,
I have a professional racer. I bring someone from Irwindale to talk to them. Clubs that are not bad clubs, but good clubs.
Yes.
Victim speakers. I have two gentlemen that actually went to jail for killing someone when they were young, when they were teenagers. And then Raul got out until he was 40. He went in at 18. Yeah. So, and then there's my community relations director and other victims that I bring. Yes. Professional racers, drag racers. And so we kind of share and talk. And there's always a law enforcement that also there to mentor and to talk what it is to give a notification. How they don't want to go knock on somebody's door, someone died. Yes. So we're all there to mentor, and it's so nice when they open up, and then we all talk, and then they get the certificate, and we have a lot of testimonials that we're hoping they don't go back out there.
Yes, of course. Being educating them and empowering them to not do it again. And wow, I tell you one thing, Lili, you have a powerful testimony.
Thank you.
And I don't know, as a parent, I'm just like, I'm very, because I lived a mi vida loca life in my 90s, So like with my children, they're very sheltered. Like my kids tell me, Mommy, let us walk on our own home. And I'm just so scared. The world
is right now.
And the twins are 13. And I'm still like, no, you guys are too young. And Giselle is 10. And so this year I experienced seeing my daughter get hit by a car, Giselle.
You're kidding me.
And that right there, just witnessing it and not being able to catch her when she flew up in the air, I was kind of stuck. And it was horrible because the guy passed the red light and he was turning on the left lane, but there was no turning. Like he wasn't going to turn. He went through the red light, and because there was no cars on the left side, so he just went through it. And so that's how he hit my daughter. And she flew in the air like a rag doll. God. And when I remember seeing her falling, her head hit the windshield, shattered the windshield. Then she collapsed and slid. And when she slid, she jumped up so fast. But when she was in the air, I asked God, I said, God, please, no broken bones. Just please let her be alive. So when she hit the ground, I was scared and I ran towards her, and she jumped up so fast, she ran towards me.
Her instinct.
Yes, and I just she kind of collapsed in my arms, and I got her to the corner, and the guy stayed because another guy blocked him.
Yeah.
And the stupidest thing that he just told me was, I'm so sorry. I was just trying to get to the gas station.
Yeah.
Because he was afraid of his car stopping. Yeah. But I'm just thinking to myself, you passed the red light, not caring what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because you were so focused on your car overheating.
Yes. Yeah.
And thank God, she got to the hospital, the hospital in Harbor off the 110 freeway. And so we did everything for her, and they just said she has no broken bones. She has a head concussion. She cannot play sports right now. Just let her chill.
Amazing.
She's fine. And most kids in this situation do not survive, or they have broken bones or something. And so just seeing that, it really...
I'm sure you were not okay for many days.
No, right? I wasn't. I kept, I would in the shower, seeing her in the air. I would be in the car. It was PTSD.
Yes.
And I asked the lawyer at the time, because the guy didn't have insurance. So it was like nothing's been done right now. And I don't think it is. But you know what I do say to myself? I say, you know what, God? I'm not upset with the guy anymore. My daughter's alive, and it's a learning experience for both of us. Like, we have to be more careful because not everybody's gonna listen. I mean, not listen, but respond to that red light, you know?
Right.
And so now I'm more paranoid.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Oh my God, I'm more paranoid.
Yes.
So when I think about that trauma of seeing my child get hit by a car, it's nothing compared to yours. That's I'm not comparing that, but it's just knowing that parents have to go through that, whether it's speeding, whether it's passing a red light, whether it's drifting. People can get hurt, and a car compared to a person's body is two different things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No,
two different things. So I just say to myself, like, I appreciate you following, you know, your journey. I do feel your daughter's spirit within the organization and your passion to do it. And I am just really, really happy that my friend found you and forward your page to me, because now I have you here on Purpose and Passion, sharing your story to inspire others. You know, you touch my heart in so many ways today, as a mother and as a woman and as a community leader. And I just want to say thank you so much. You know, thank you so much for being here. And where do you see yourself with the nonprofit? What do you have going for 2024?
Well, we're booked with so many events. We're so happy. We have schools, we have community events, we have more bills to pass. We have more. We want to expand our diversion program even bigger, and we just keep going. I mean, my goal is to, you know, one of these days, just say high five to her.
You know? Valentina is high fiving you now. Like, it's successful. It's successful.
No, it's I never meant to it. Like I said, that's why sometimes I see other nonprofits built by experts, you know, and I'm like, man, they have it going on. They know how to get those grants and know how to do this, and I'm like, here I am struggling, and because I didn't study for this, you know, but I know that it's gonna grow as much as she allows it to grow. And to me, I'd rather have no people being killed in a crash, you know, and I'll be so happy every time a child is killed. It doesn't matter how old he is, because he has a parent.
You can be 40 years old. Right.
You can be 50 years old and you have a mom that
you're still your baby.
And you're coughing, and here's the mom with the syrup. You know what I mean? That's what I always tell them. Like, what happens when you get sick? You know,
mommy takes care of you.
I'm like, I go, don't make your mama cry. I go, don't make your mother cry. And as I tell these kids that are doing the donuts, and one of the things that I've talked to them about, and because I wanted to know what's going through your head. And they have told me, like, she said, I had one of the, because they do community service with me sometimes, so I bring them to the schools with me. And he goes, it's the feeling when you're doing those donuts and you're swinging and you see a huge crowd in front of you watching you. It's like an amazing feeling.
It's like they're a celebrity performing in a concert. It's that energy, that vibe.
And the people that are young and dumb that go there too, and there's so many people getting killed. For what? Not everybody. So you're going to get, when they're swinging, you're going to get a random kid that just decided to go, got his car, and he's going to go swing. Then you get the ones that they're go all the time. And a lot of them, it's like the car culture gone wrong. So they found friends. They found a group. They found a new home. A lot of them come from broken homes. A lot of them come from a lot of money. So it is this
that bonds
this
them
bond that they bonded, and they call each other, and they're like, what are we doing? It's like a new club that was raised, but it's a dangerous club. It's so bad for them, and there's all bad people and good people. There's everybody there that you can. I always tell them, it's not your party, it's everybody's party when you go there. When you go to a party, you kind of know who's going to be there, but when you go to these kind of parties, you know who's you're inviting. Can get shot, anything can happen, anything can go wrong. So I know that there's this bond, and one of the things I always tell them is like, 2 years from now, you're going to be into maybe going to the gym, you know, maybe
having a family,
kids. I don't know what you're going to be doing, but it's a trend, and I'm so happy that you make it alive and you're okay, and your parents still have you. That's my main thing, is I want parents to still have them, whether anything that they're doing, and crashes are 100% preventable. And that's why I like to educate the youth before they even start driving, because I do believe they are future drivers, and if we change them, we can change the future of no more crashes.
Thank you, Lili.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being on Purpose and Passion.
Thank you for having
Before
me.
we close out, I wanted to share we're having the 4th annual Women of Achievement Awards on November 9, 2023 at 11 a.m. And you can tune in to see the link in our bio. Until then, this is Raina Carrillo signing out with Purpose and Passion. Thank you.